Probably what I love most about this dish is its simplicity. It's one of those dishes where you just use whatever you've got laying around the house, which happened for us more times than not. In Chicago, we were part of a working class poor. I mean, we had enough money for food and paying rent and maybe a few utilities, but that was it. There would be times where there was more month left than money. It was in these times that Chopped was invented. The mystery basket was whatever else we had laying around the house, a half an onion, a few ribs of celery, a piece of chicken from here, or 2 pork chops from there, maybe a bag of leftover collard greens from the freezer, or a few frozen green peas. Whatever it was, she figured it out. And the beauty of it is that it nourished a young, impressionable, fragile Darius and sustained him until the month turned and we started all over again. This dish literally uses a bunch of leftover ingredients in a way that speaks to the nourishing spirit of every maternal provider who's ever walked this planet. Fresh Brussels get washed well and then cut down to size. This is important because when you lay them out on a sheet tray and then let the heat get to them, they'll roast up to a crispy, brown, savory perfection. The seasoning is not fussy. Salt, fresh black pepper, a bit of garlic powder, and a sprinkle of brown sugar just to take off the edge is all they need. A good drizzle of olive oil helps bring the whole dish together. Now, my grandmother would use the baking drippings from a Folgers can sitting in the middle of her stove, but in a good pinch, olive oil will do. They go off into a 400-degree oven and cook until they magically become toasty and charred. Meanwhile, for this risotto, you just throw in onions, and peppers, and garlic, and saute until they're tender. I then add in white wine and chicken stock, and once that comes to a boil, the instant rice goes in. Although not entirely Italian, this is the part where my grandmother would utilize her creative licensing in lieu of some Nona's validation. Once the rice is cooked up, in go the butter, the cream, mascarpone, and lots of Parmesan until it's super creamy. The risotto serves as the perfect backdrop for the pronounced brushstrokes of crispy Brussels, perfectly seasoned and perfectly charred. It's in this moment, in this second, where you realize the genius of simplicity, perfectly orchestrated by the need to feed souls. Recipes like this, you know exactly where they're going to be. On my website, it's dariuscooks.tv. There's 2 things I want to tell you, as I always do, and that's food is my life, life is my food. Until next time, I want to wish you happy cooking from my heart to you.